Hey guys, welcome to day 342 of playing Persona 4 Golden in real time. Now we're getting close to the end, but we're still in that 1 month gap until March 19th, so in the meantime, let's continue playing through Persona 4 Dancing All Night. Now we've already defeated a god with the power of dance, so let's go ahead and see how the story wraps up now that that's been dealt with, and let's go ahead and get into it. Proceed. Alright, pretty bright start.
Oh, are we back? The sky seems a different color.
Oh yeah,
This
it's
isn't
night
the
now.
midnight stage. I mean, look! There weren't any cameramen when we were at the midnight stage before, right? That means...
Okay, I feel like we just had all this evidence that's not the midnight stage, so you just being like, it's the midnight stage seems very concerning. But let's go ahead and say it's the real world.
Is this our world?
Yep, you got it. Wow, we're finally back.
I see. We won against Mikuratana no Kami and his... wait, her? Well, its power returned us to the real world. After making sure everyone's safe, I let out a long sigh of relief.
Konami! Rise-senpai! Oh, thank goodness. You're all safe.
Yep, thanks guys. It's because of all of you that we got our feelings across so loud and clear. You've got friends too now, Konami, so we'll be on an even footing from here on.
Uh-huh. But I won't let you show me up, not with such amazing friends with me.
Economy and kitchen that's formed true bonds, huh? That might be a real threat if I don't get serious too.
Oh, cool.
I feel like if
Looks like
it's
the LNB
necessary,
audience is
we'll
safe.
come out of retirement to support
Man,
Rise.
that Miku whatever thing might have actually been a pretty okay guy. What the? What happened to the festival?
Isn't it going normally for most of it?
I feel like there's gonna be a dark twist that we're like, well, yeah, that guy was pretty cool. I want to hang out with them. At Kanji's remark, we all look to the audience, ensuring that they're all safe as well. It takes us a moment to realize how serious the situation is.
Now that I think about it,
We're like, yeah, they were pretty cool, and then it cuts to reality. We're in the midnight stage, and we all have the yellow ribbons bond wrapped around us, and we're like, yeah, we like Mikuratana no Kami. Now that I think about it, the audience just saw everything that happened since the venue fell into the midnight stage. Even if they had no memories of being taken by Mikuratana no Kami's bond, a vague explanation isn't going to cut it here. But just then, a familiar sound cracks and echoes across the night sky, as if shattering our last worries. Are those... Okay, that was going to be Miss Shimizu to save the day and handle this very professionally and expertly. Fireworks blossom across the night sky, and we sigh in awe, the sight momentarily banishing our worries. Still, what's going on? The instant our excitement turns to confusion, we notice someone walking forward from backstage.
look, there.
Is that Miss Ochimizu?
Okay, so she is here. Just a little...
With the launch of
little
the
late
surprise
than I was
fireworks,
expecting.
marking the Love Meets Bonds Festival's grand finale. We'd like to apologize for halting the concert due to unexpected circumstances concerning technical malfunctions.
What? Seriously? That lady's gonna try and smooth it over like nothing happened.
All of the glitches have been resolved by now, and there's nothing in the way of the rest of the concert. Thus, we will now proceed with the rest of the LNB performances as planned.
Upon saying that, Mr. Shimizu winks slyly in our direction and signals to the staff off stage as if to say, get on with it. A moment later, the music starts up and it doesn't take long for the audience's confused mumbling to turn into cheering. She was really pushing it, but it was well played. Nicely done, Mr. Shimizu.
She actually got everyone excited again.
Well, even if it was a bit forced, it's hard
I mean,
to say
I don't know
that
where we're
for
gonna
show
follow
quality,
that up with, having
especially when it's Miss
Nanako
Ochimizu.
come out and dance again.
Aside, shouldn't we be
I mean,
all
that would
right?
be a crowd pleaser,
We're
so
still on
that could
stage.
work.
Crap! We were dancing so hard on the midnight stage that I forgot about the audience completely! Retreat! Retreat!
He has a point. It's not our turn yet, and we're certainly not professionals that can deal with a chaotic situation like this. It'd be best if we made a swift retreat. Okay, I have to check the backlog for that one. Let's see. It'd be best if we made a swift retreat and left this to Mr. Shimizu and also Konami-san and Rise if needed. At Yosuke's signal, we nonchalantly shuffle away, trying to avoid the spotlights beaming down so we can hurry off stage. But
we will now begin the LMB Fest's final event, the debut of Kanamine Kitchen's new song.
Oh, right. Still gotta
Livening up
play
the stage for you
Calystegia.
tonight are the one, the only, Kanamine Kitchen and the Bond Dancers.
I feel like we might have a legal issue with James Bond. At her announcement, the music that had been hyping up the crowd fades out and the countless lights shut off. A bright spotlight suddenly shoots down like a lightning flash, illuminating Konami-san at center stage and us. What?
All eyes are on me! Come on, Yosuke, wave to the crowd! Wait, what? Why is this happening?
Konami, sing Calystegia. The original lyrics, please. I'll be counting on you all. I believe in you.
Damn! She cut off our escape route!
The audience is already focused on not only Konami-san, but the rest of us standing alongside Rize. All we can do is wave to the audience, forcing strained smiles. Check and mate.
Calystegia, Yuko-san's song. Okay then, this next performance will be the finale of the Love Meets Bonds Festival.
Yeah, I'm
As
pretty sure
promised,
we don't have a
Kanamine
routine
Kitchen will
rehearsed for that
perform
song.
Our latest song. This song was left to us by my senpai. It's a very dear song that helped me connect with my friends here.
Looks like it's put up or shut up time. We better bust out our best moves.
Let's do it! This is a once-in-a-lifetime performance, so we might as well enjoy it.
Don't blame me if this turns into a disaster! I swear, this is gonna be as low as it gets for the rest of the year!
Don't worry, I'm sure we can manage to get our feelings across by now. Let's go. We'll improvise our way through.
Everyone, dance crazy and make some noise! We just have to make this the show of a lifetime together! I'll be singing my heart out, so enjoy! This is Kanamine Kitchen's Calystegia!
Wait, we don't even know this song!
Okay, it took him until now to realize that. Oh, okay. Okay. You know, I think that's a nice little ending to the game. I was like, is this gonna be a dance number that I played through? But, you know, the music for the credits, I think that's a pretty decent send-off. So yeah, I feel like it'd be... Like, if I want to complete the game, I think if I skip the credits while it's playing a new song that's integral to the story, then I feel like that's going to be kind of shortchanging the game. So, we'll watch the credits. I guess in the meantime, I think I would like to do a review of Persona 4 Dancing All Night. For now, I'll go ahead, talk through my impressions of it so far. Definitely would like to wrap it up into a more professional, like, well thought out, concise video. But so far, you know, a rhythm game like this, the appeal is really the gameplay and the music. And for this game, definitely like nailed it with the soundtrack. Like when it comes to rhythm games, you know, most like Guitar Hero, stuff like that, they can just pull from a lot of licensed music. So that's definitely a nice favor to them. But otherwise, if you're limited by the like soundtrack, you can definitely feel that. If it's not like, hey, we can do whatever song we can afford. But I feel like when it comes to doing a game soundtrack rhythm game, I feel like I can't really think of anything that would do as well as a Persona rhythm game, just because there's so many hits, so many iconic songs that, like, even if the gameplay itself was like good, like music can definitely elevate it. And just so many songs that like you hear it and you instantly think of like that location, that like scene or moment that it's used. Because like anytime like you can just hear like a few piano notes and that's like, oh, it's the Velvet Room. So really lucked out there, and definitely something that's a big bonus to a rhythm game. Then the gameplay itself, I do feel like you know, I don't feel like it's anything that's like super complex, but you know, it's very fun. I will say one issue that I think would be better on a PS Vita than playing it on desktop or an emulator is that when you play the game, the notes go out to the edge of the screen, and so when you're playing it on a PS Vita, the screen's very small, so you can kind of keep the entire screen in your peripheral vision. Playing on a desktop, if a note's going to the top left, it's kind of easy to not notice a note going to the bottom right, especially with so many effects going on in the background, and there's like circles that spread out. It can make it a bit easy to lose a note on the opposite side of the screen in your peripheral vision with so much background like activity. But, you know, I don't think that's something I really want to knock the game for. But, you know, I think it's pretty fun. I think just being able to have an interactive version of these hit songs is definitely a nice bonus, something that's very enjoyable. But on top of that, I feel like when it comes to story modes in rhythm games, it's usually, like, it definitely takes a back seat, and sometimes it's, like, very loosely drawn in. Like, I think the Rock Band games, like, they would have, where you kind of have, like, posters, and, like, you'd save up points to get, like, a bigger venue and stuff like that. It's kind of like, oh, you know, it feels like there's some momentum, but there's no, like, story moments, which I think, for a game like that, makes sense. Just be able to play through songs, build up, hit, like, more points with audience members and stuff like that. Persona 4 Dancing All Night having, like, a story mode that's, like, so extensive that it took, like, you know, I definitely would not have wanted to play through all of this in one day. And being able to spread it out over, like, over a month, I think, is definitely... It didn't feel like, oh, there's, like, so little content that's like, okay, we're gonna do, like, half a chapter today, and then we're gonna have to, like, cut it, and then do the second half tomorrow. Definitely plenty of content to go through, but now less about the quantity of the content and more about the quality. I will say, I mean, it's kind of mixed, because it feels like a story mode for a rhythm game is a bit of a daunting task. And some is like, oh, you know, I feel like some areas it kind of was lacking in. But it's also like, I mean, what can you really do? Like, I feel like they gave it a pretty good attempt. But I will say, one thing I think I would have preferred is that a lot of times the story kind of feels cyclical. You go to the Midnight Stage, you're looking for one of the Konami and Kitchen girls, you find them, you do a song, they get pulled in deeper, you find them again, they transform, you do a song, and then they go to the waiting room. And it happens like 4 times. I think that happens with like every single one, and it doesn't really change a whole lot between each time it happens. But like I said, it's kind of like, how do you fit so many songs into the game? But I think it would have benefited a little bit if it was a little more concise, didn't do that like loop every time of like, oh, they got pulled in deeper, now do another song. And I think if they had like, you can just do multiple songs each time, so they don't have to like drag it out more, I think it would have been a little bit of a tighter package. But looks like that brings us to the end of the game. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I had unlocked it yet, but there's a secret bonus chapter after you beat the game. So we'll be continuing playing through Chapter 8 tomorrow, so stay tuned if you want to see that. But to quickly wrap up my review of the game, or my impressions of it, I think the story mode, I'm glad that they really gave it an attempt and didn't just like phone it in or even like not bother with the story mode, which I think would kind of be understandable. I'm definitely glad that we got this story that has a mystery that I think similar to Persona 4 Golden, the thing that like really draws me in is that mystery of like what's going on, who's behind it. And Persona 4 Dancing All Night, they kind of have a similar thing of who's the voice, what's going on, how's the Midnight Stage working. And it felt like there was enough different stuff from Persona 4 Golden that's not just the TV world again, and there's a killer. It feels like it's different enough, and then getting that revealed was actually kind of interesting. So I think they really give it a good attempt. Like I said, I think some of it feels a bit cyclical and drawn out, but you know, I would take that over them just phoning it in. They're basically being a skeleton of a story mode. And so, you know, mixed. I'm still kind of thinking over it, but you know, I think, yeah, like, I'm glad they did it. I think there's room for improvement, but for a story mode for a rhythm game, I think they really put in a lot more effort than I would have anticipated them to have done. But that's going to wrap up my impressions for now. Stay tuned if you want to see the full review later on. But that's going to wrap up the gameplay portion for today and bring us on to Shuffle Time. Alright, let's see what Fate has in store for us today. Let me get pulled up. Alright, today's card is the Death Arcana in the reverse position. Okay, I know death is, like, means a new beginning, so it being reversed, I don't know exactly what that means, but let's find out. The death reversal meaning is still about change, but that you have been resisting it. You could be worried about letting go of the past, or you could not be sure of the changes that you need to make to go forward. Resisting the change and holding on to the past can limit your future, which can cause you to feel like you are in limbo. You should take some time to assess the ways that you have been approaching the changes in your life. You may find you have been halting the changes that you need due to fears of the unknown. While you can still be afraid, you should trust that you are taking the right steps and move forward. Life moves on, so passing time is only going to leave you with regrets. Death does not have to be a card of regret, especially if you heed its warning. Okay. I mean, I think it's very easy, it's pretty natural to resist change or fight the passing of time, but it's gonna happen either way. I think if you spend time trying to rewind time, it's just gonna make you stressed out and not enjoy the time that is being spent regardless of whether you're worrying about it. So I think focusing on aging gracefully, making sure that as time passes, you're proud of the way you spent that time, rather than trying to fight for the past and then time slips away without you really getting to enjoy the moment. And so I think this is definitely a good reminder of try not to fight it, don't resist change, go with it and make the most of it. And I think that's definitely a life better lived than trying to get back to the past and fighting that the whole way. But that's going to be another card down and another day done. So that's going to wrap it up for today. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to follow along with the journey and see the final bonus chapter of Persona 4 Dancing All Night before we finally get back to actually playing Persona 4 Golden. But either way, thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh.